faster than most of people? Let me show you. 지금도 한 100개 해볼 시간 없으니까 조금만 한. I'm really faster and I never even made mistake. How would they even actually dare to say that I actually made a mistake? I was not the one who typed the New York Times, because I really actually know that original newspaper like the Times is really the one who has the name as the Times. I never made a mistake. Those are really the URLs that I just type. Every single time I type, New York Times, they always induce me from being typed wrong, not me. They always actually change it as New York Times, or even if I ever type in a New York Times, this was actually misspelled because, they just want me to be wrong. But I'm actually faster than most of people actually, studying or reading this. I can prove it. I'm really, really faster than you. I'm not lying. That's a really ridiculous. That's a really crazy argument. I'm not really. No, I'm actually faster than you. No, I never actually hesitated. No, I'm actually way faster than your friends to actually memorize this. Never actually hesitated. It's really, really underestimation. I'm actually faster than majority of people. See how fast I am. This is not pretension. I actually see things far faster. Journalism like no other. I'm actually better than most of people in terms of perceiving them. I'm really, really quick. I was not the one who actually said the New York Times as New York Times. They always induce that kind of wrong truth by actually changing my words always, whenever I try to actually get into it. It's a really daily ritual. I always, every single day without exception, I actually get into New York Times. But unbelievably, they always change it as New York Times. Or they actually changed it as New York Times. I never did it because I was really the one who actually typed all different websites based upon my memory. I remember them really well. Your subscription helps the journalists of New York Times to find the truth. Find the truth. The truth. It's very obvious. I'm not really actually having any difficulty fucking asshole. I was really the person who actually said that. Even actually remember the Times. I wasn't really the one. Did you really forget that? This is really the first thing that I actually put down. And it's a really ritual. Every single day, almost no exception, I actually get into, by typing the URL by myself, really up until the end. I never actually use any link. I'm the one who actually typed it. I'm not actually interested in clicking something that has been suggested. So I actually always type the NewYorkTimes.com. But every single time I do it, they had a 2 different variation. This is really the forced change. Either they change it as NewYorkTimes.com. Do you even actually know what time is? Some of you probably never even heard of this word, but this is English. Time. Time is really a prong. Prongs of the fork. I have no interest in saying the New York Times, and neither New York Times. No. I just actually demonstrated that. I even actually remember Washington Times. Why the first place that they named it as a Times? Why? Because, that's named after British, this is really the original, the Times. Tell the truth, this is really the fucking original. Yeah, I even actually remember Chicago Tribune and all different paper. And why would you even actually assume that I remember the URL of the actual site that I actually visit every single day? I even actually remember Monde Diplomatique. Even actually remember this, something that I don't really use that often. / diplomatique. Diplomatique. I even actually remember this much. How the fuck you think I was actually forgetful of a New York Times that I use every single day, with no exception? But every single time I try to get into that, either it has been changed as NewYorkTimes.com or New York Times, the S would be dropped. I never even actually wanted to. That kind of event happened to me before too. I was actually trying to type down a menagerie with a full spelling, but I actually pressed, enter button, but, accidentally it was actually, what, in between the delete and enter. So it was a press it together. So, the E was dropped as if I was a misspeller again. They use all sorts of dirty tricks actually, to drop, one of my letter, or even actually induce a certain deletion without my permission. So certain, propagations, if I ever actually type in a 4, mysteriously it has been changed as off. You think that this is a really crazy argument. That's the reason I videoed all the history that I actually, truly, literally filmed every single trial. People would be so scared if they ever watched this, because last time I tried to actually type something, I tried to type whole, but they changed it as a hell to make the message like a go to hell. It was actually repeatedly done, so it was recorded on camera. I tried to actually type whole more than 3 times. Every single time I press A, something irrelevant hell was actually popping on the screen. That was captured because I was recording. I was actually doing underneath the camera to prove that I'm not the one who actually mistyped something. They are actually constantly changing the letters. Something really inexplicable are happening. Certain events that are really inexplicable are happening, and something mysterious is going on, as if the phone is haunted or hacked. Something must have been done, right? Something unbelievable was really underway, for sure. That's the real reason I'm actually recording. I don't actually do something without camera. Yeah, I don't really need to. I really read something faster than you. You're not in the league. Not really. 76. A prosecutor says the Capitol Hill attack that took place on January 26, 2021 really supports and corroborates the sedition charges. So they could possibly be accused of a sedition charges, asshole. I read it really fast. What the fuck is wrong with you? You think I'm an idiot? Hmm. Sedition case. Michael Shireen, this person is Michael Shireen, a prosecutor who led the Capitol Hill riot inquiry as a leading prosecutor of the investigation, says, this, event is really trending that way. That means it is the actual direction of the investigation is going toward that way. It's really gaining the traction. That means the voice inside the federal prosecutor's office under Justice Department is more likely to be in favor of seeing this event as sedition. That's a really, because some of the cases are truly suitable as they already qualified those elements. If I ever actually paraphrase it. An English tenor should come first. That's a European way. Yeah, he headed the... That are... I cannot see it. I need a paper. That's really sedition. It's really true. Michael Sherry, U.S. prosecutor who headed the inquiry into the Capitol Hill insurrection or riot that occurred on January 6, 2021, announces that the investigatory efforts by the DOJ are going towards that direction. That means the popular voice gaining ground or traction in the DOJ when it comes to the direction this case is indict. Is for sedition charges. That means it is highly probable the rider who broke into the Congressional building fulfilled. Conditions. Here in our conditions, I don't really need a paper. It's really he said that he believes, but I have to quote it. In a quotation, I believe as their wrongdoings are suitable for having fulfilled of those conditions for sedition charges. I believe that is a trending in that way. That is a trending in that way. That means that, this voice of the direction is really gaining traction, being the popular ideas amongst the U.S. prosecutors under the broader flag of the U.S. DOJ. The Department of Justice is the place where they belong, right? They belong to the DOJ. It's really easy. I don't mind. Simple sentences. You know what? Meet those elements. Here, elements means conditions. Well, I don't really need to think about it. Elements means conditions. That means that they're what they had done on January 26th, 2021, truly met those elements. They are at this moment qualified to be considered as they already conducted a certain act that are in accordance with the sedition charges. So the U.S. attorneys can actually, go ahead to indict them for a sedition act. That's really the gaining momentum. I mean, that's really the idea that is gaining momentum and that is actually gaining power amongst the U.S. prosecutors and inside the DOJ. This is actually, announced by the leading prosecutor, whose name is Michael Sherman, who already orchestrated the major investigation into this riot that took place on January 26th. Quote unquote, I believe that is trending in that direction. I haven't ever missed a single thing. I have to go. Yay, I said it. Really genius. 정말 완벽하다. 왜냐면 여기는 이렇게 적혀있거든. 봐봐. A text most likely supports the sedition charges. I really did it correctly. I didn't actually miss a single thing. It is highly probable those writer who brought into the congressional building are about to be qualified over being tried as criminals who plotted and executed the sedition against the U.S. government. The popular voice gaining the ground or traction in the DOJ is for sedition charges when it comes to the direction of this case indictment. 정말 완벽하다, 그리고 Michael Sherman, who led. Yeah, I said it. I believe that is a trending in that way to be suitable for sedition charges, as their wrongdoings are suitable to have met and fulfilled these conditions. Are really correct. And also, Michael Sherman, who led the inquiry. I said it also. I met these. Who headed the inquiry. I said it. And I believe, quotation mark, I said I believe that was there, are suitable. There are at this moment suitable for having fulfilled those conditions for condition charges. Didn't miss anything. The popular voice gaining ground and traction in the DOJ is, I said I met all the conditions.